Hello everyone and welcome back to our video. Today I'm going to teach you loops with Java. Alright, so let's close our output here and clear everything in our source code just to avoid confusion. Alright, so in programming there is what we call loops. Loops will, as its name suggests, it will repeat the process. Alright, so in order for the loop to do a loop, then there has to be a condition given. If it happens the condition is true, then the loop will keep on executing statements. Alright, so let's say for example, to put it simply, let's have a plain variable numerical variable integer a holding numerical value number 10. Okay, so let's just change our identifier just to write it appropriately. Let's say my number. Alright, so that is to apply the practice of having descriptive names for our variables and objects. So let's say for example, if it happens that this number 10 is less than 100, it will keep on increasing. It will increase its number until it will reach 100. Alright, so we can do it by a loop. So by the way, in Java there are different kinds of loops. Okay, so the first one is we have the so-called while loop, and then the second one, I guess let's put some numbers here, while loop, and then the second one we have do, and then while loop, and then third we have the for loop, and lastly the one we are to integrate with arrays, we have the enhanced for loop. Alright, so to simplify our video instruction, so let's just explain one loop at a time. So let's explain while loop on how it works. Alright, so with a given condition, we are to repeat a process. Let's say for example, hello world. Alright, so we want our statement to display or repeat printing hello world in our console if the data is less than 100. Alright, and then it will stop right away if the number of times the hello world has been printed is already 100. In short, we want to print hello world 100 times. Alright, so if you are to print hello world, then obviously you are to use this statement, right? And then you put here hello world. So this statement, it will get us an output which is a single hello world, right? So let's click build and run. So as you can see, obviously, because we're not operating this and we're not utilizing our variable and we're not using any one of the loops, then obviously we get one only. So how to use the while loop? So for the while loop, we need to use the keyword while here, alright, and we use the open close parentheses and another open close curly braces. So what we are to write inside here is the condition for our loop. So if it happens that my number is less than 100, for example, then it's going to print hello world here. Alright, so let's cut this one and here, right, paste it inside. So by the way, I just want to let you know that this code will produce an infinite loop. Why is it? It is because within our statement there is no statement written that will invalidate the condition. Alright, so if it happens that the data being held by this variable my number is true, I mean less than 100, which makes the condition true, then this block here is going to repeat that process until this statement becomes false. Alright, but sad to say, I didn't write anything here that will make this statement false. Therefore, we will get an infinite loop. Alright, and that is something we need to be careful with in dealing with loops. Alright, so to show it, let's just click build and then click run. So if you notice, my program keeps on running and it keeps on moving, printing hello world infinitely. That is because I didn't put a statement here that will invalidate the condition in the while loop. Alright, so you need to remember, in order for you to get out of the infinite loop, there has to be a statement that will nullify the condition of our loop. Alright, so let's just click stop here and close. So in order for us to escape the loop, right after printing 100 hello worlds, we just need to increment our condition variable to make the statement false. Alright, so that means we are to increment. So in programming, there is what we call increment and decrement operators, being symbolized by two double plus sign or double equal sign for the decrement, and then double plus sign for the increment. So this form of increment is what we call a post increment. Post increment. Alright, post increment. So if I'm going to write it like this, my number, then this is what we call a pre-increment. Alright, so you can do the same with decrement as well. For example, like that. So this is a post decrement and then pre-decrement. So we use these to increase or decrease the value being held by our variable each time a loop has been performed. Alright, so let's just erase these. So it's enough for you to know that there is what we call increment as well as decrement. So this one, what do the statements I wrote here inside the while block mean is that if the condition is true, then it's going to perform the blocks here infinitely. Alright, but since I wrote something here which is my number plus plus or increment, that means the value of this variable is going to increase by 1 right after this block executes a statement because of the condition remains true. So that means the first time the while block is going to read this condition, it will execute this one, all the statements here. Alright, so therefore it will print hello world the first time. Alright, so after checking, since it printed already hello world, it will increment the value. So the value here of my number is 10, right? So the second time it will read the my number, it's already 11. Alright, the value of the variable will become 11 because of this increment symbol here, and that 11 is still less than 100, therefore it's going to print still another hello world the second time. Alright, and after printing hello world, once again it is going to read the statement in line number 22 and then going to increment the value being held currently by this integer variables. Currently it has 11 and we increment it with 1. By the way, increment means plus 1, decrement means minus 1, by the way. So therefore 11 becomes 12 and 12 is still less than 100, and it will keep on printing this one, another hello world, for the third time, and then check again, increment 12 to 13, and then so on and so forth. Alright, therefore if it happens that this statement will become false, then the loop will get out, or it will not stop looping. That's my point. Alright, so let's click build and run, by the way. So if you notice, it stopped. It says build successful and our program is not running. And if you are to notice, my scroll is running up and down, by the way. So all in all, if you were to look at it, it's going to be 100 hello worlds here. I mean around 90, right? Because we started with number 10. Right, so if we are to put 0 here, right, so that means we are to get around 100. So plenty of hello worlds, right? So for you to check, by the way, you can also call the value of this variable just for you to check the number has being incremented each time a loop has been performed. Right, to do it is like that. We print my number. I guess we should put here this one to avoid looping. Alright, so it will start from 0 and then it will keep on repeating, printing the numbers. Alright, if you notice. So it printed 100 sets of numbers, but it ended to 99 because by the time it reached 100, it makes the statement already false. Therefore, it will not execute the loop anymore and just jump right to another line, which is no more statements. Then the program ended, obviously. Alright, so let's just put here the loop ended. The loop ended. Alright, so if we were to start the loop with 90, then it will start reading with 90, and then it will keep on incrementing, and we will get the number up until 99. Alright, so coming from 90 up until 99, because the next time, the last one after reading this one, after 99, it becomes 100, right? So this variable will be considered 108 already after executing the 99th time here in the line number 22, and then it will make the statement false because 100 is not less than 100 but rather equates to 100, right? So therefore it jumped out to the loop and presented or started reading the codes outside the loop. So if we want still to include the number 100, we just need to add here equal sign, right? So let's build and then run. And obviously with this one, we will get the exact output, which is 100 because we're including the 100. So if it happens that it jumped to 101 already when this block here has been executed the 100th time, then that means it's already 101 for the my number variable. Then this statement here becomes false, and then it jumped right away and it exited the loop. So that is how a while loop works. So we still have another loop features, the do while, the for loop, and enhance for loop. So for the other for loops, the other loops, let's just explain it in the next video. If you have, once again, questions, just feel free to ask in the comment section, and feel free to subscribe and follow our channel. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Bye for now.